Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jillian and I am a homeschool mom. This is gonna be a prep for the beginning of the homeschool year video. I hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be a productive one. So if you're new here, my son is 4 years old and we're getting ready to start his second year of homeschool preschool. It's also our second year of using the plain preschool curriculum, which we really love. Okay, so while the kids are asleep, there's a big handful of things that I want to try to get done, or at least make a big dent in this list. So here's what we're looking at. I need to print curriculum, some alphabet sheets. I found some like morning work things, I think is what I'm going to call it, on Teachers Pay Teachers. I need to get that printed and bound somehow. I need to figure out my spiral binding machine, make a supply list for things that we don't have yet that we need to get. I'm going to figure out some type of first day of school craft and prep some sensory bin bases. And then I think we'll be ready to start homeschool. Okay, so I think the plan of attack is going to be to get all the printing done that I can first. Our printer, like, it's fine, but it's definitely not the quickest printer I've ever seen. So I think I'm going to start that, and then while I'm over there, maybe try to figure out the spiral binding thing. We'll see. Let's start with printing. Okay, alphabet sheets are printed. I'm gonna hole punch them and put them in a 1-inch binder. Okay, so I just used 1-inch binders. These are from the dollar store and I've had them for several years now. So we have our first 2 units of curriculum printed out. The printer was so slow that I did not want to waste my time with that. So I just did this for now because this will get us through the first month or so. I'm gonna keep this one since it has all the plans in it in the everyday cart, and then we'll keep the alphabet pages in the supplemental cart. And on to the next. We're getting a lot of QT with the printer today. It might be too loud, but we're just slow rolling. There we go. While this is printing, I wanted to show you what I got from Teachers Pay Teachers, teacher created resources for teachers. So you can search by any skill, content, grade level, or age. The first thing I got, and this is what it is if you want to search it on Teachers Pay Teachers and use it for yourself, I got these letter tracing sheets. Thought that this would be fun if I laminated them. I printed these front to back, and the plan is, we'll see if this works, the plan is if I put the comb binding on top, it would be like this, and then when you flipped the page, the next one would be also face up, so I'm hoping it works like that. In the plain preschool curriculum, they do have a letter or 2 each unit. They practice the sound and the words and all of that. So I'm thinking whatever the letter is for the unit, he could start a couple days a week with tracing these and practicing recognition and all of that, just to kind of get him warmed up. The other thing I got from Teachers Pay Teachers is this. It is Bible verse coloring pages. My son the last couple months has been starting some scripture memory stuff, like just as a part of his bedtime routine, and he's doing a really great job, which convicting because if my 4-year-old can memorize scripture, like, I have no excuse. I got these coloring pages because I thought it'd be a fun way to keep track of verses to memorize. So there's 20 of them. Each one has a verse and a little picture. So I thought if I bind them all together, we could go through them like 1 per week or 1 per unit. And as he's memorizing it, work on coloring the whole picture. And that way, by the end of the year, he would have like a fully colored book of all of the verses that he memorized. I have run up and down the stairs to the printer about 27 times, it feels like. This is the spiral binding thing. So I guess it's called a comb binding machine. This is what I got that is on my list to figure out today. I got this on Amazon Prime Day. I'll be the first to say, I already think that this is probably completely unnecessary. I do not think you need this, but I love school supplies. So my plan with this, if we can figure it out, is the couple of things that I printed from Teachers Pay Teachers, I'm gonna try to bind them in here, and when he finishes them, or at the end of his preschool year, he can keep them as a keepsake instead of having like loose sheets everywhere. So we're gonna try it. Cross your fingers, and I guess let's just see. I will say it kind of smells like so that's probably not great. So this actually doesn't look too bad. It came with this cardboard piece that you're supposed to punch to get oil out and achieve optimum utility. So Wow, okay, it worked. So I'm actually excited. This seems much more user-friendly than I thought it might be. You crank this bad boy down, although I will say I'm nervous now because I don't want to have to reprint. Oh, awkward. Okay, it says max 12 pages, so I should have read the instruction. I literally, okay. Is it like that? Wow. Okay. Oh my word. I would call that a success. So this is the laminator that I have. I got this before my first year of teaching and it's still working great 5 years later. Let's get laminating. Okay, so the lamination maybe didn't work as well. It definitely cut through. I'm gonna try to like tap it twice in a row before I try to move it and see if that helps. Okay, I think we're gonna make it work. Okay, the hair is up because it was getting hot in here between the stair running to the printer and the laminator heating up. We were just like, I was in a good zone. A little memory verse booklet is completely done and bound. Tracing sheets are a little bit of a different story. The lamination was like slightly too thick or maybe not even recommended for the machine. I'm gonna have to trim those like edge frilly pieces, there you go, because when you stack them together, they don't like cleanly stack. In case that is like a tedious activity, I don't wanna spend this precious nap time just cutting off a million of those pieces. I can do that like tonight while we watch a show or something. So I'm gonna set this aside. So I'm gonna trim those little pieces so that this stacks cleaner and bind those probably tonight. So to-do list is back out. We've printed curriculum and the alphabet sheets. We figured out the tracing sheets, figured out the spiral binding, Y5s for that. So next up is the supply list. We'll go shopping tonight. In the plain preschool curriculum, there is a little supply list of things to make sure you have at the beginning of each unit. So because I've only printed the first 2 units of our curriculum, that is all I'm gonna look at for our supply list. I know we have most of the stuff. I think there's just kind of a random handful. So let's get that list made. This is our list for the first 2 units. We're gonna go shopping for these things today, and this will carry us through the entire first month of our homeschool activities.
Mommy?
In the cart. Okay, supply list, check. So next I want to put together a little first day of school craft. I thought it would be fun to have something to sort of mark the beginning of the school year, and I'm trying to really hype it up. I was listening to a podcast and they talked about how they really try to be intentional about marking the difference between like summer break and the school year. I thought a little first day of school craft would be fun. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm just on Canva. I'm gonna see if they have a crown outline template. Actually, there's like several options. So I'm just gonna pick a fairly basic one, and then I'm just gonna blow it up and try to stretch it across the whole page. And then I think how we'll do it to make it fun and exciting is I'm gonna have him decorate them however he wants to. I will put him through the laminator when he's asleep. I don't know, maybe use like a brass fastener or something to secure them together. Would be ready to wear so he could wear it on his first day of school. So here's what the crown looks like, one page. Looking at it, I'm not sure if 2 of these sheets are gonna be big enough, so I think I'm gonna print 4 and just let him decorate all of them, and I can fidget with them and piece them together when we laminate. So just a heads up that 2 might not cut it. So it's now the next day and there are a few things I need to update you on. First is the tracing sheet. So I'm really happy with how these turned out. I did cut off those extra laminated edges that didn't punch all the way through yesterday, and they stack up great and it all is lined up. I also put the first day of school crown pages in our curriculum binders. Also on our list was to prep sensory bins. So yesterday when we went school supply shopping, we got a couple bases. And so I had this bin already from Target. We have a gallon-sized bag of oats, and then we also bought rice and cornmeal that will be able to fit on top in Ziplocs as well. And then we will use this actual bin for our sensory bins also, and just take out what we're not using that time around. The sensory bins, check. Here's a little updated look at the homeschool cart now that we are all ready to go. We filled in with all the supplies that we got for every day, and on the bottom shelf under our calendar are those blue binders with the curriculum and the crown pages and alphabet pages, and I put the 2 little workbooks down there. And then I am gonna do the sensory bin on our supplemental cart since we won't be using that every day. And I feel all prepped and ready. There's nothing else outstanding. We made it to the end of the list, which feels really good. We aren't planning on starting homeschool for a couple more weeks, and so it feels really good that we can just enjoy the rest of our summer and not have to stress about rushing around to get ready at the last minute. So thank you for prepping with me. Let me know in the comments if you are homeschooling. When are you starting? Because I'm always so curious. Our plan is to start the first week of September, and we're really, really excited. It feels good to have this done. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.